In my kitchen, I have this cluttered corner and I need to get into that wall. I also want to rebuild those shelves. It's pretty chintzy, but I need a place to put all that stuff. And I have been thinking of making some shelves for this corner right here next to the refrigerator. The refrigerator can be pushed over a few inches, so it is time to get this done. I've been thinking about doing that for 2 or 3 years, and now it is time to get started. Before I can make my new shelf, it needs to be designed. Some of you may have already viewed my bookcase project video uploaded June of 2023. This shelf is essentially going to be the same thing, but just a different size. In that previous video, I demonstrated using an Excel spreadsheet to control the design of an assembly, and what I'm going to do is grab those files and use them to make a new shelf. I've already created my new working folder and have it open here right next to the original shelf project. Now I need to decide which of the files need to be copied over, and for that, I need to view the thumbnails. A Windows hint. Hotkeys for changing the views of a folder are holding the Control and Shift key down along with the number keys 1 through 8. Pressing keys Control Shift 2 changes the view to thumbnails so I can see which file is which and then select the ones needed for this project. Files selected are the project file, Excel spreadsheet, shelf, side, toe kick, and top. I also brought over the 2 cut sheets. And now, let's get started with the design. Now that I have all of the files, it is time to rename them for the new project. Renaming the files will break all of the links in Inventor, but you'll see that is relatively simple to fix. We also need to temporarily rename the original folder so that Inventor cannot find it to enable linking to the new files. Now that the files are renamed, let's get it open in Inventor. I already had Inventor open, so now I need to point to the new project file. At the top left on the icon bar and click on Projects. Then browse at the bottom center of the Projects dialog box. Now browsing to my new working folder and then double click on the new project. When fixing links, we always want to start at the lowest levels, which in this case are the parts files. It does not matter what order they are done in unless some of the parts are linked to others, and I won't know that until I open a file. Here you can see when I open the first file, it is trying to find the original spreadsheet for the bookcase project. To fix it, all I have to do is select the new spreadsheet. And now that that one is relinked, I will do the same thing for the rest of the part files. Now that the parts files are relinked, it is time to attempt opening the assembly and validate everything is okay. This is a simple process just like the parts, and I just have to point to all the new files. And when this is done, I will relink the 2 cut sheets and then go back and rename the original bookcase folder. And now that I have a workable model, it is time to update the design for its new purpose in the kitchen. Looking around at what I want to put on the shelves, I decided on a preliminary height of 58 inches, but the available space limits it to only 9 inches deep, and that presents a tip-over hazard. I have a solution for that I will reveal later in the design. After measuring a number of items that I might be keeping on this shelf, it looks like a shelf spacing of 9.5 or 10 inches is needed. The height and shelf spacing will be finalized as I build the model. Now opening the new bookshelf model and then shrinking the window so that we can see both the bookshelf model and the spreadsheet controlling all the dimensions right next to each other. Now we're going to witness the power available when linking to a spreadsheet for the design of a model. On the left side in the spreadsheet, I'm going to change the dimensions to what I want the final dimensions for my shelf. Saving the Excel file and then back to Inventor and wait for it to recognize something that's changed and light up the update button. When the update icon lights up, I click it and all of the parts in the bookcase magically change their size to the new parameters. Checking the dimension between the shelves, I decide to play with how many shelves are in the design to see the optimum spacing. I end up deciding on 5 shelves for the optimum spacing for the items I want to put on this shelf. Now, to further illustrate some of the magic in this method, let me split the screen so now we can see the shelf, one of the prints for one of the sides of the shelf, and the Excel spreadsheet. And here you can see the shelf assembly is not the design I actually want. So now what I'm going to do is go back into the spreadsheet and change the dimensions back to the design I ended up wanting to build, and then you will see that everything updates itself. Magic. I did not have to create any new models or create any new assemblies. All I did is copy files from one folder to another and then ran an update. And now all I have to do is clean up a few of the prints, and I think I'm ready to start making some sawdust. I decided that this will be the end of part 1. Come on back for part 2 when I start making some sawdust along with screwing and gluing. Be sure to subscribe to follow this project and hit that notification bell to be informed of future updates.